Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another video. This time, this is my honest opinion and impressions of the Xbox July event. How about we get into this then? So the first thing you should know about me is that I'm an Xbox fanboy, if that isn't clear enough for my other videos. And so this was a massive event for me. And going into this event, I had some really big hopes and dreams. So did Xbox do everything that they promised and allowed me to be hyped up for the future of Xbox? The answer to that is yes. Now, I know that there's been a discussion going on about the Halo Infinite graphics, and I'd like to put my hat into there because I have done a demo in the past. I've done game design in the past. I know, I have not talked about that at all. But with that experience, I want to put my hat into the ring and explain things as best as I possibly could, even from a smaller independent person as myself. So the one thing you should know about this demo is that yes, it is technically a slice from the game, but it's kind of developed alongside of the it's kind of developed outside of the game, so you kind of take this slice of gameplay that you've technically designed from the main game, split it apart from the main game that you're still working on alongside the demo. So you've got less people on this demo creating the lighting, the everything. And with that in mind, you've got to be careful to judge them. This is just a demo. This is not the full product. You've got to make that difference. If you said, yep, the demo is exactly like it, no. Most likely, the full game, it has the lighting, it has the shading, it had all those stuff. Maybe it looks better. And maybe all those complaints you're talking about now is gone from the main game. But what we see from the demo, it is true, it is ugly as hell, but it is not the main game. And as one of the developers said, not developers, Aaron Greenberg, their PR head of Xbox, have said, each week they're improving the game, and we've got until, if I were to have a guess, November, or when the actual game comes out. So please keep that in mind about this whole thing. Without going into, without saying too much, that I did enjoy like they keep saying, this is not just a game for the Xbox Series X. This isn't just a game for the Xbox One, for the end of the generation. Everything you saw at this event, and I don't think people really understand this enough. Emphasize that every game you saw there will be on Xbox Game Pass at some point, except for one which will go to stay on the but still, there was a lot of games shown. There were like 30 odd games, and I'm not going to reach every single one of them. So this may be a long video. I don't know how long this will go for. Let's jump right into this, shall we? So let's start off with Halo Infinite. As I explained, the graphics in the demo will be changing. This is the demo, and I think, if I have correctly, you can even attempt to play the demo at some point. Personally, I have not played it because I know I can't remember other people playing it. Still, you shouldn't worry about the graphics. It is a slice of gameplay that they took on and basically at the same time. But the gameplay aspect of it, god damn, it looks great. It looks like old Halo style. but I kept my mouth shut. That was the worst thing for me to do as a Halo fan. So once they got back to the original graphics, to the original sound, to the original music, it felt nostalgic. And even for me, I'm something like I'm turning 21 soon, and I've been brought up on Halo from Halo. Oh, I didn't even play Combat Evolved until much later. My first Halo game was Halo 2. And I enjoyed it. And it feels very much like an evolution of those titles. Like Bungie made it. And for that, I give congratulations. Because I loved Halo 4. But I despised Halo 5. And thank fuck they're not making the same mistakes. And now that we actually get confirmation that it's open world, it really does excite me on that. It really bloody excites me. Especially with the Warthog, it just looks so cool. But with that in mind about the open world, it does worry me slightly about how we're going to traverse the open world. That's the question I have in mind. How are we going to get through it? And how is it an open world? Is it zone to zone like Destiny? Which I hope it's not. I hope it's a fully open world that you, like, yes, maybe it'd be barred up by zones. But at one point you can go from one of the maps to the other. That's what I hope is going to happen. And of course, there is tons of weapons, as there should be. And that wasn't emphasized in Halo 5. It was kind of, you get 3 main weapons and then that's it. Halo 5 was a mistake. Halo Infinite is evolution. Going on to State of Decay 3. It was as I mentioned in my wish list, I wasn't really wanting State of Decay 3 at all. Not really. I wasn't hyped for it. Didn't want it. If you played State of Decay 2, you probably played State of Decay 1. And the other way around, really, innit? So when there was a cool trailer that I thought, oh, maybe it did excite me. This person in the woods who were surrounded by snow, and I thought, oh, what's this? Maybe it's Undead's next game, and I thought, oh, that does excite me. It does follow the tradition of a survival game, but I thought, oh, what are they going to do? What's the twist on this? Then I saw a zombie. I thought, State of Decay 3. Then I saw the Zombie D, should I mention, which was cool because now we've got zombie animals instead of just normal zombie humans. It's cool. We haven't seen that many zombie animals, not really. But does it excite me as much as something like a Halo Infinite or another zombie game like there's tons of zombie games. Like if Dead Rising came out with another game, would that excite me? Not really. Undead Labs, give me a reason why I should care about this game. Because at the moment, I don't give a shit about it. Not really. State of Decay 3 was a complete... No. State of Decay 2 was a complete mess. So don't fuck it up in the third one. Moving on to Forza Motorsport. Amazing graphics. In all fairness, it was amazing to look at. I was hyped up for it. Even though it was an in-engine gameplay. In-engine gameplay, that does make sense, Reese. It was an in-engine trailer. So for that means that it's not gameplay. And in fact, I hoped it wouldn't come out this year. And I answered my prayers with that because let's be honest, there's been loads of games from Microsoft Game Studios this year. And I think we need to space them out a lot more. A lot. So in that regard, come on. I wasn't expecting a trailer at all. Not really. But we got a cool trailer. It looks amazing. I'm still excited for it. And we know it's going to be hyper realistic racing, unlike the Horizon series. So it's something to look forward to, especially as it's basically a reimagining of the Forza Horizon series. Forza Motorsport series race. Come on, get it right. But still, I'm very much looking forward to it, and as well as you should be. Sorry about that. I've just got I've still got like notes of what of what I want to say for each individual game. So like I said, it will be a long one. Everwild. My God, does this excite me more than anyone could possibly know. A story trailer that truly intrigues me. This hasn't happened for a very long time. I think Dragon Age Inquisition truly intrigued me about what was happening in this world and why I should be interested. This is a new IP by Rare, and even on my wish list I said there was expectations, and by the looks of things, they fucking met them. So, what did we actually see? We saw we could possibly have pets. From fishes that regurgitate animals. Nasty shit. Or the giant dog with a mustache. Genuinely looks intriguing. And by the end of the trailer, we saw a holy deer god. We worship it. We've now started a new cult. Holy Worship Deer God. It's a new title. We're still working on like what exactly we're worshipping, but still. Maybe Everwild will answer our prayers. Tell me why. This was Don't Nod, the developers. I forgot to mention it in my wish list who created this. I didn't know what to expect in this. Not really. I knew it was going to be like a Life is Strange sort of thing, but I thought it was going to be without the mystical powers. I thought this was going to be hyper realistic. It was going to be a thing based on abuse, about a person deciding that maybe they were born in the wrong body, about the wrong gender sort of thing, and yeah, I was up for it. And so in that case, I was a bit surprised when it was basically the spiritual successor to Life is Strange 2. And we all know that Life is Strange 2 technically didn't sell that well. But I'm still excited for it. I would have preferred if they didn't have the spiritual elements of it. Because to me, it's just a Life is Strange game. At that point, they should have just called it Life is Strange 3. But still, at least it's a cool story that I can get behind. That, like I said earlier, it's got emotional moments that I can really understand what the characters are feeling in that situation. And they've got unique characters never done before on screen. Not really, anyway. Not done to this involvement, from what I can tell. Plus, where at the time of recording this, it's only a month away from releasing, basically, and I'm happy to say that I will be playing this on stream. Hopefully, if my schedule lines up to be, I'll play this on when it first releases. Now, for one of the weirder moments throughout the whole thing. Ori and the Will of the Wisps, from what I've heard, is an amazing game and a very successful sequel to the Ori games. But it didn't show us like a third Ori game. No. It said that they're adding a 120 Hz mode, so that's 120 frames per second if you to slightly dumb it down, basically, for the Series X. Cool. But that's it. That's all we got. I was a bit confused that they had to take a whole segment just for that. Meh. Now going on to what would be the internet's wish list, basically. The Obsidian Trifecta. My God, this blew my goddamn mind. We'll start off with the Outer Worlds DLC. I loved the Outer Worlds. I truly did. In fact, I would have happily streamed it if it weren't for the fact that I was so busy with college work beforehand. So now, we've got the Outer Worlds DLC. It's releasing on September 9th this year. And this is the planned expansion 1 out of 2 amazing DLCs that will sure to come. Now, the actual trailer was amazing, with amazing weapons that I can't wait to get my hands on. One where you can literally pull enemies towards you. I read bits and pieces outside of this thing trying to explaining what we actually saw throughout the trailer. We've got like a murder mystery as the storyline, and it kind of reminds me hints of like the Oldwell Blues from what's it called, New Vegas, Fallout New Vegas, and I can't wait for that. And best of all, like I said, it's a little bit over a month from now. It's going to be released September 9th. It's not that long away. Of course, at the moment they're probably doing bug testing, but my god, to actually play this would be amazing. The second of the Obsidian trifecta is Grounded. Now, a lot of people were a bit annoyed when they announced this, because it wasn't an RPG. This was a passion project. And as a developer, I can fully support passion projects, because you don't want to keep doing the same type of game over and over. It gets boring, and you run out of ideas. But if you do other games in different genres, you suddenly get these unique ideas that you can implement into your usual routine. So, of course, it was one of the funniest trailers at the show. One of the jokes was that if you want the biggest game of the year, visit Cyberpunk 2077. And it got a laugh out of most people that I watched online. Even it made me laugh. With that, and it's got good gameplay features that I personally didn't see coming that they had. Of course, they talked about having building. They've got the spiders. You've got the ants. You've got all these lot. And I know they've got arachnophobic mode coming into the game. So if you're not a big fan of spiders, then yeah, go ahead and activate that. And best of all, it's coming out. It's coming out this week. In fact, it's technically the day of recording. It came out today. I am playing, depending when you see this, I will be playing Grounded on Friday. The something of this month. It will be playing it Friday. So this week, it will most likely be. I'll probably do something and say that Thursday. I don't know. Side note, sorry about that. But still, this Grounded looks like a very great game. The graphics look fan-fucking-tastic, and I want to play it. So, the final trifecta of the Obsidian trifecta. That makes sense, okay? I'm not fucking up. You are. Was Avowed. Wasn't expecting this trailer whatsoever. Not gonna lie to you. It was something that, well, I was, like I said, I didn't think that they have the balls to do it, to announce it so early, because they've technically got two things. They had the Outer Worlds, they had Grounded about to be releasing, and now they just announced Avowed, their next big RPG, rivaling the likes of Skyrim. We know what you're doing, Obsidian, with the likes of trying to rival Bethesda with everything they're doing. You had the Outer Worlds to rival Fallout, and now you've got Avowed to rival Skyrim. I think Bethesda's looking at you now and saying, you make a wrong move, and they're going to get you. The game itself, from the few information that we actually know about it, is its first-person combat looks amazing. But of course, this was also in-engine footage. And what we know is that it will come out not this year, it will most likely come out in 2022, or at the very latest, 2023. That's a big time jump. But we've got the trifecta. That's what we needed, and that's what we got. And this was the biggest thing to come out of this showcase. Now going on to some smaller games, but still a game that I am incredibly interested with because of how original it actually is compared to other games in the indie space. As Dusk Falls looks like the most unique game, is the most unique game they showed at the showcase. An interactive picture game with limited animations, but emphasis on story. We don't know what sort of gameplay we could have, but it looks unique. It should have this. It should say to you, "I should play me," because it did to me. I don't want every games to be a third-person action game. We've had enough of those. Sony, if you're listening, please don't do that. But this whole idea that we get this cool story, which is what looks like about life and death at a hotel, from betrayal to disaster to everything like that. It just looks interesting, and from what we can tell, the idea of the past coming back to haunt us plays a big part of the story throughout the entire thing, from different characters to characters, and I am heavily interested in where this game goes. And now I'm heavily interested in the development studio. They've done something that very few have done. Moving on to Hellblade 2. Okay, Ninja Theory. Can we talk about this? No, I'm joking, of course. We know that the pandemic has affected most games. From the likes of... you can't have Hellblade 2, mainly because you can't do motion capture. You can't get too close to that. Well, yes, Far Cry 6 had that amazing trailer. Most likely, that was done before. The motion capture was done before the pandemic. So in that way, they were lucky. Hellblade 2 can't do it just yet. Plus, they have to keep going back and back and back. So ordinarily, you've got to understand that there won't be... The pandemic has properly affected Hellblade 2 as a gameplay. But what they did say was you can visit their YouTube channel to click on their video about their dev diary. Remember to like and subscribe. Oi. I see you, Ninja Theory. You've got games to your name. I want some YouTubers. YouTubers? I want people to subscribe to me. Please don't do that. I see what you're doing. I've got my eye on you. You're getting out of the games now. You're getting out of the games industry. Become big time YouTubers. I'm joking, of course. But no, it was a cool... What I watched was a cool video diary. But don't come out to us unless you've got something. And the next and probably final... Oh no, it's the second to final games... Xbox Game Studios studio. From the mind of Tim Schafer and the heavenly voice of Jack Black comes Psychonauts 2. The Jack Black Chronicles. Honestly, throughout the entire trailer, I just had this one thought in my mind. What the fuck did I just watch? Honestly, it was psychedelic almost. I felt like I was on magic mushrooms throughout the whole bloody thing. it was good in a way because it got me intrigued about this in a weird possible way. Like, should I not be doing drugs while playing this game? I don't know. It might be affect me that much. But good thing is, as I just said, it's got Jack Black. I love that trailer because he's one of the most lovable people ever. And him singing there was a huge surprise, and I really enjoyed it. I didn't enjoy the singing because the song was alright. It was alright. But I do have one question about the entire trailer. Why was there a floating guitar? No answer? Neat. I'll probably get that later on. Holy shit. One of the, how you say, shocking moments of the whole thing. Destiny was on there. What the fuck? I did not see Microsoft and Bungie get back together. Holy shit. I just didn't see those lovebirds actually ever making it back together, but apparently, here we go. So what's actually happened at the showcase was that they announced that all the DLCs, plus the 2 main games, or just Destiny 2 should I say, are coming to Game Pass in September. And the newest expansion will come onto Game Pass day 1 when it releases in November. I'm really excited for that because from what I heard, Destiny was much better after I left the game. I know it sounds daft, but I've heard from a lot of people, yes, people complain about it, yes, and all that sort of stuff, but the story supposedly got much better. And it kind of scares me as well, because there's a lot of shit coming out in September that I thought, oh fuck, I won't have enough time to stream to do all that, but like, we've got, like I said, we've got the Outer Worlds in September, we've got Destiny coming in September, we've got Pro Skater 1 and 2 returning, we've got Avengers. Holy shit, I'm going to be busy September, and I hope for you to join me, so that I can at least say that it was all worth it. September, here we come. The next thing was Stalker 2. What the hell? Also a stunning moment. I honestly, when I first saw the trailer, I thought, oh, what, this post-apocalyptic game, is it Metro? Is it Fallout? Is it Death Stranding? No. It's goddamn Stalker. What if you didn't know what Stalker was? This was a PC exclusive for years that I wanted to sink my teeth into and actually play everything about it. Of course, I do have a PC now, and I should have played the first one. But now it's come to Xbox, I kinda don't want to. I prefer the Xbox personally. But the open world looks like a really cool thing to explore. I think, from what I remember, this is a location that's not really been... post-apocalyptic Russia's not really been a thing. So I'm excited to play it. I'm very excited to play it. Warhammer Darktide. Meh. I'm not a big fan of the Warhammer franchise. Not really. It looks cool. It's a 4-player first-person combat. So the best thing I can describe it is it's Vermintide but FPS. Or should I say, proper FPS. So emphasis is on shooter. First-person shooter. Now comes to probably the worst game that was probably announced throughout the whole thing. Alright, I'm not saying it's the worst game, I just felt like it was the most disappointing. Tetris Effect, subtitle, I don't give a shit. There's a few thoughts that came to my mind when this was kind of announced. Really? Another Tetris game? I like Tetris, but come on. Let's be serious now. Hey, it looks pretty. There's multiplayer. These are the main thoughts that come into my mind. And yes, I've got two bad things and two good things. Yes, the game looks pretty. Yes, it has multiplayer that I can find an excuse to play on the on my daily stream schedule. And I'm sure, because it is come to Game Pass, I'm excited to play it one day. But still, it's Tetris. We all love Tetris, but it's Tetris. The Gunk. Looks an alright game, especially as it's by developers of SteamWorld. And I've played SteamWorld, and it's a very fun game. If you haven't, please do. But The Gunk seems to be something different, where the unique gameplay kind of reminds me of something like the Visceral cleanup detail, where you're cleaning up this gunk from the world itself. Yes, you probably get more excitement than just cleaning up dead bodies. But with The Gunk, it's very much, it's got a story to it. It's got cool enemies, from what we can tell. Either it's just got one type of enemy that just spawns. I don't know. It looks like a platformer as well. It's got platform elements. But what can I say, except that the art style wasn't great, I personally thought, because for me, that art style was ruined by bloody Fortnite. And I hate saying that. I hate it with passion. Because it looks good, but for me, it's spoiled. It's like a good sausage roll. The pastry looks delicious. The sausage roll looks good. But when you get actually eating it, it's like you find out it's a Greg's vegetarian sausage roll. And like, oh, that's kind of meh. Bleh. Meh. The Medium, which was I've talked about how good I thought the game actually looked, even with I think it was first revealed in their previous conference. The one that everyone complained was like, oh, there's got no gameplay. Well, let me remind you that it had gameplay. In this one, in fact, The Medium was a mix of gameplay and cinematics. And I will vouch for I'll probably go over the whole thing and say which ones had gameplay by the end of this, because I stand by what I say. It was good. In fact, it was very good. The Medium was actually created by Blooper Team, the people behind Observer and Layers of Fear. So I'm looking forward to it. It has a creepy world that I'm fascinated with, and it had like dual world views, similar to like if you ever played Halo: The Master Chief Collection, but instead of it just being a visual thing, it had gameplay elements to support them. So obviously this is the next gen game that I can't wait to get my hands on. Next is Phantasy Star Online 2. I'm not going to say much about this except for one thing. Meh! Another goddamn anime game. It looks a bit shit, and not really my type of game. So if you're looking forward to this, fair enough. I'm just going to give it a hard pass. Crossfire X single player. Right, here we go. This is the one thing I said about earlier, saying that this technically isn't part of Game Pass. Yes, it's a free game. Crossfire X is coming to, I think, or at least coming to Xbox Game Pass. But the single player it's going to be something different. You have to buy that. So in that case, it's not coming to Game Pass. But good news is, it's not made by this Chinese developer. The single player is made by Remedy. So a big, hyper, whatever you want to call it. I'm very excited for another Remedy story. That checks that box. Does it look beautiful? Oh my god, does it do just that. The graphics is stand up. and it seemed like it's a mix of story. It's a mix between a Battlefield story and a Crysis story, with Suits of Armour playing a big part into it, and what feels like looking through like a spyglass, saying like, this is what the enemy is doing, stop them. And unique and cool characters, of course. What do we expect from a Remedy game, right? Even if it's technically just a single player aspect. Fable. We knew this was coming, but I was still surprised. I know this game is a long way out. I know it, and everyone should admit that this is not likely to come out anytime soon. So I'm sorry for people who are excited for this to come out, I don't know, like next year or something like that. Don't expect that. Expect it to come out in 2022 at the very least. But I've got to give them credit. When I saw that Playground Games logo come up, and I knew it was Fable, I was fucking hyped. So I don't know how they did it, but they did it. I was hyped, and I wasn't excited before, but I certainly am now. And the trailer itself was bloody hilarious. But I don't think people realise that perhaps don't give gameplay until it's ready. And I stand by that statement. Phil Spencer did an amazing thing and not show gameplay too early. Even throughout this entire thing. As I said earlier, I'm going to say where there was gameplay. Technically, Crossfire X single player had gameplay in it. Phantasy Star Online 2, the game I wasn't too impressed with, had gameplay. The Medium, The Gunk, Tetris Effect, Destiny, Psychonauts 2. So even Dusk Falls gameplay, Grounded, the Outer Worlds DLC. Tell me why. All these games had gameplay, and people were saying this had no gameplay. Yes, it did. It just was a lot more subtle. Now that it's coming to the end of my impressions, whatever you want to call it, there's the three questions that I want to get out of the way. What was my favourite game on the entire show? Why? Of course, my favourite game, for me personally, was Halo. final thing, what would I give grade wise? Now, it's true, everyone gave this low grades to this conference, and I personally preferred it over the PlayStation because there was no bullshit in between, which was games, and that's what they set out to do. They amazed me with them, they bored me with others, so I give this an 8 out of 10. It had amazing stuff to go along with it, but I wanted to see actually unique stuff. And yes, they showed me that there were some games that truly let me down. That is the final bit, what I'm about to say. So thank you so much for watching this video. It may be a longer one than usual, but trust me, this is going to be a pain in the ass to edit, so please like and subscribe if you enjoyed it, and I'll see you on the next video, most likely a stream. Bye bye.